Hey everyone, this is James Roguski, and today is November 18th. If you get out your calendar and you go forward from today 10 weeks, that will bring you to January 27th, 2024. Now, the reason for mentioning that is 4 months from that date, May 27th, 2024, is the first day of the 77th World Health Assembly, which is the assembly where the working group for the international health regulations was planning to consider adopting proposed amendments to the international health regulations. Well, a little bit more than a month ago at their meeting, their co-chairperson said very clearly that they don't think that they're going to make their deadline. Now, they published a document on November 16th, just a couple of days ago, and the sixth meeting of the working group is scheduled to happen on December 7th and 8th. Now, that was scheduled to be their last meeting. And then they were going to submit the proposed amendments to the International Health Regulations Review Committee for final review before submitting it on time before January 27th so that the Director General could notify all of the member nations and give everyone 4 months to review whatever it is they're considering. Well, in their October meeting, they revealed the bombshell. They said they weren't going to meet their deadline. They rolled out Stephen Solomon, their legal counsel, who very clearly explained how just brutally clear this deadline is. The video's down below. And then they proceeded to talk for about an hour about how they were just going to ignore the rules. And so on November 16th, they came out with their new schedule. And the sixth meeting is not their last meeting anymore. They have a meeting scheduled for February 5th to the 9th and April 22nd to the 26th. So they're planning on negotiating these proposed amendments all the way up to just before the World Health Assembly. Now, I caution everyone, and I have been doing this since February when the International Health Regulations Review Committee report came out. You have to understand that you do not know what is in the international health regulations. We got a version all the way back in September. September 30th was when it was submitted. We got it in December. And yes, there were some outrageous things in there. If you want to talk to me about why I don't think those things are in there anymore and people should stop talking about it, please give me a call. My number is 310-619-3055. I personally believe that the vast majority of people in the alternative media are being punked. The version that everyone is working on is almost a year old, and we're about to see possibly a new version. And I expect a lot of surprises. I caution everybody, stop talking about that old version and get prepared for the new version. It's probably going to be filled with some very skillfully crafted propaganda. Now, what I would like to say to everyone is we have 10 weeks to flatten the WHO's plot to break the rules. They have to submit a final version before January 27th. So there's time for the Director General to notify all of the nations around the world of whatever it is that they're proposing. Now, if you've been paying attention to this, you'll know that they're having difficulty reaching agreement. And part of the problem is the wealthy nations and the poor nations want different things. I'm a little bit concerned, and I think it would be incredibly interesting if the group for equity and all of the nations who started this process realize, and everyone else around the world realize, that they only need about 99 nations. And they can tell the working group for international health regulations to shove it up their ass, and they could write their own proposal. We could see many proposals from many nations being submitted who are fed up with the way the working group has been running their operation. We have no idea what's coming. And we may not get a chance to see whatever the final version is before the assembly in May. So I caution everybody, stop talking about the details of the working group and the international health regulations that were submitted back in September and made public in December, because they're totally different and we haven't been allowed to see them. I don't want people to think when some of those things are gone in this next version, oh, we win, and they put back our dignity, and they're not going to make Tedros's recommendations be mandatory. You guys are getting punked. Please realize that this has all been done in secret. None of us have any idea what is actually in these international health regulations. The issue at this point is not the details. The issue is the process and the rules by which we get to see the final details 4 months in advance of the assembly. We've got 10 weeks to flatten the WHO. If you want to join me, go to jamesroguski.substack.com and give me a phone call at 310-619-3055. Thank you very much.